There's only one thing that's running through my soul, and that is
Happy hump day. Welcome back to the Crimson Dynasty. Look, we have a hot show tonight. We tried to tell y'all last week, make sure you're here on time. So go ahead and hit up that live chat. Go ahead and like and subscribe this video and share it with your audience, share it with your family. My name is C'Chi and I'm the host here. We're one of the shows here on the Bama Standard Network. And I know y'all are y'all are the familiar viewers that we have. And so we really appreciate it. But before we get started, I have to just welcome you back, both Dan and JB. Those are our co-hosts. They're awesome. And we do have a special guest here. But before I introduce him, I do want to shout out one of our sponsors, Lamstone Company. So we always tell you that your home, your beautiful home, can always be upgraded by adding a natural stone in or around your home. Don't settle for subpar materials. Check them out. They're located in Oneonta, Alabama, and they're one of the most trusted sources in the state. So be sure to contact them today and use the Bama Standard as your promo code to get 10% off your first order. So be sure to check them out. We appreciate the support. And if you're watching us right now on X, head over to our YouTube channel, the Bama Standard Network, and be sure to subscribe. That's the only place that you can actually engage with us in the live chat. So be sure to subscribe. Now, I'm going to just go ahead and introduce you. I really don't have to, but I'm going to do it anyway. You don't really need no introduction, but we got to shout out the one and only, the Hall of Famer, the legend himself, Antonio Langham, cornerback from Alabama. He did it all. Can't nobody beat his record for interceptions. And I'm going to say it again before he leaves tonight. He's originally from Town Creek, Alabama. Now, he played for Alabama from 1990 to 1993 under head coach Gene Stallings. And he's actually the cousin of Kerry and Chris Goods. And I actually met them last year for A-Day. But one thing that I wanted to mention is a few things, actually, but I'm going to try to keep it short. He is a two-time All-American. He was actually recognized as All-American 1992 and 1993. Like I said, he still holds the record for most interceptions in a career. So you think about that time frame. So like I said, he's the legend himself. He was named the SEC Championship MVP in 1992. He was also part of our 1992 National Championship team. He won, like I said, it's a lot. Like I said, two-time All-American. He was also the Jim Thorpe Award winner in 1993. So of course, that's given to the top defensive back in the nation. He went on to be selected in the first round of the NFL draft in 1994 by the Cleveland Browns. Of course, for the Baltimore Ravens fans, y'all know that it later became the Ravens. He actually recorded, I believe, almost 10 interceptions at the Baltimore Ravens within just 2 years. So that was awesome. He played in the NFL for 7 seasons, and he was also inducted in the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame in 2019 and the College Football Hall of Fame in 2024. So I'm going to stop there because, like I said, it's a lot. I can take about 10 more minutes talking about you, Antonio, but I just want to welcome you here. We really appreciate having you. And look, I'm excited. We got a lot to talk about.
Well, I appreciate the introduction. It almost sounded like you gave me one of those Steve Harvey introductions. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? All I need to do is just walk out from somewhere.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Hey, like you said, I mean, you the real prime time, but don't tell Dion I said that.
You know, I almost come away from around the corner like fly. I got drip for sale.
That's right.
Exactly.
I ain't gonna tell Prime. I won't say nothing to Prime. You know, Prime my guy, but I see he getting his feelings. You say the wrong thing, so let's make sure we keep it clean right here.
Exactly.
We don't want no problem with Prime.
Feeling some type of way about, the would be, but yeah. All right. Well, Dan, can you kick us off? We got some questions for you. We want to let the viewers know some things about you that they may not know. And so, Dan, can you kick us off?
Yeah, definitely. The 92 team, I'm preface it by saying, that 92 team, I feel, I see somebody in the chat that agreed with Latoya Billingsley. I was telling, like I told you in the green room, that team was the reason I'm an Alabama fan. I said it plenty of times on the network. And, I feel that team was the big reason that started the Alabama culture to what it is today. You know what I'm saying? So right. I think that team kind of solidified that, hey, this is Alabama, you know, and it set the tone and the culture and the standard at Alabama, you know, and Coach Saban, you know, of course, took it to another level. But to go and you know, do what you did to Florida in the SEC championship game, then, you know, to, you know, do what you did to Miami, nobody gave you a chance, you know.
Right.
Watching that game, and I'm like, you know, I watched it. You know, I was a neutral guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you, a Georgia Tech fan. You know, and
Rambling Rex.
Yes, and I watched that game. I said, whoa, I like these guys. I really do. And I'm talking about from that point on, you know, I was like, man, I really love enjoying watching Alabama, because I think y'all, you know, set the tone as this, you know, y'all kind of represented my mentality.
Right.
You know, let's leave it all out on the field. You know, y'all didn't care. You know, y'all went out there to play, lose, had fun, and let teams know, hey, you know, we don't care who you are. We are who we are.
Right.
You know, y'all beat them by being y'all selves. You know, you didn't have to play their game. Y'all played y'all's game. You know, but let me get on to the quiz. I go on and on about that.
Well,
but,
you know, I don't mean to interrupt you, but the cool part about what you're saying is you're telling everybody is it actually for us started in 91, because you know we lost one game in 91. We went to Florida to the Swamp, and they ran us out of the stadium. They beat us 35-0 in the Swamp in 91. We had a players only meeting when we got back, and they were like, this will never happen again. And we ran the table. If we don't lose to Florida that year, we probably will play for the national championship in 91. So we take everything that happened in 91 and we shift it over and bring it on over into 92. I mean, we had a great senior group, man. You got Copeland, you got Curry, you got Lassick, you got Prince Wembley. Prince Wembley had like 30 nicknames he gave himself. You know, y'all don't know that. See, y'all learned something new today. He was a high stepping master of hype. He was the Prince of the Tide. He was Neon Peon. He was pay TV. You can only see him if you had cable. You know, he had a million names, man. So we know you got a crew like that. You had to play for those guys. But it started in 91, then it rolled over in 92. But to your question, I'm ready.
Okay, yeah, but and when you say that's very similar to Coach Saban in 2008, how it set the tone for the national championship in 2009, very similar. You know, you lose to Florida, and you had to beat Florida to get over the hump.
Right.
So that was very, you know, so you know, Florida is very directly responsible for us, you know, winning a couple of championships.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that was Spurrier was the only coach, and RIP to my man Bill Oliver, who passed away not too long ago. But Spurrier was the only offensive coordinator, even though he was the head coach. He was the offensive coordinator at Florida that just drove Coach Oliver crazy. We faced anybody else, and he's fine. But the week of getting ready for Florida, he screamed, he yelled, he cussed, he kicked people out of practice. He put me out of practice 1 or 2 times. I had to tell him, hey, man, chill out. We good. You know, you all right. You know, when you're having a little success, you can talk back a little bit there. We good. Relax, baby. We all right. You good. Get your Gatorade bottle. Good, man. Get you some water. We good.
Get you a towel.
Get you a towel. Put it over your head, coach. Relax a little bit. We got you. But, you know, that was the one coach that just drove him crazy. I promise you, a lot of people don't know that he changed the game plan 3 times before we kicked the ball off against Florida. Wow. I'm like, we just learned it on Wednesday. Now you change it on Thursday. Then you change it again on Friday. We kick it off on Saturday. What? We just out here just freelancing football. But that's the only one that drove him crazy now.
The old ball coach, yeah.
Old ball coach.
Yeah, you know, you played for the legendary Coach Gene Stallings, you know, so my question is, you know, what is your biggest lesson that you learned from Coach Stallings?
Oh, Coach Stallings, Coach Stallings ran our program like an NFL team. He didn't want to be out there all day practicing. And everything was gonna be fast, quick, and to the point. Let's get to where we need to be. We running, we sprint every drill. Let's get there. Let's get there and let's get off the field. But he was a stickler for detail. I mean, he'll be the type of guy. Now, a lot of people didn't know Coach Stallings only hear out of one ear. So that's why if you go back and look at all our film in college, he never wore a headset. Because if he covered that one ear up, he could hear nothing there. And you would be on the sideline explain stuff what happened, and you would be explaining it to him, and he'd be like, hey, 43, what happened on that deep ball over there? And you just answered, it was a deep ball, and he didn't play it. That's what happened on that ball. But you'd be like, well, coach, we was in this coverage. Safety should have been rolled over the top. Then he's sitting there looking at you, and then when you finish, he'll say, hey, man, I ain't heard a thing you said. Come on this side. So you're like, coach, I just went through a whole 5-minute spiel. I got to repeat this over again. But, I mean, just playing for him, and he was a player's coach. His door was always open, but when he was upset with you, he was upset. It was best to just stay out of the way, walk around him, go a different direction. But we enjoyed playing for him, man. He gave us freedom. Now he told us, he said, I'm gonna treat you like grown men. As long as you behave like grown men, I'm gonna treat you like grown men. I won't have so many rules. Like we made it to the national championship game. He was like, man, I'm gonna get y'all a curfew at 12:30. Y'all earned it. But the seniors took over, and our seniors were like, no, we want curfew at 11. And he was like, well, then let's just do 11:30. That's the type of coach he was. Like, he trusted us, and he believed in us that we were gonna behave ourselves. But we was headed to New Orleans on a mission, so we didn't care nothing about curfew. We didn't care nothing about hanging out. We'd get in the hotel room, hang out with each other for a while, and we'd go to our room. We was on a mission. We didn't care about hanging out in New Orleans. We wanted to win it because we knew what we were going to do when we got back to Tuscaloosa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, y'all got a question for you, man. First of all, thank you for joining us once again.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome.
So, C'Chi mentioned all of your accomplishments in the introduction. I wanted to ask, what was it like being inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame last year?
Oh man, it was amazing, man. I'll be honest. Then that you asked that question, I reflect back on it. It was man. It was first of all, it was a blessing, man. It was a blessing to be in a position. I mean, God truly blessed me, man. And for me to be from Town Creek, a little small town boy where population is about 1,100 people, and you talking about from a small town, and now I'm headed to Vegas to be inducted to the College Football Hall of Fame, and I'm taking 1,200 people in on my shoulders that's going in with me from my hometown, because as they say, it takes a village. When you're from a small town, you know everybody, and everybody's raising you. So from the time the announcement was made, every time I went to Town Creek, everybody would let me know, I had something to do with you going in the Hall of Fame. I led off with everything. I lead off with is Town Creek. But it was amazing, man. That the cool part the good part about it is that I had all my teammates to thank for this, man. Honestly, I tell people all the time, they were like, "Well, you say that, but you're a very humble guy." But I'm like, "Hey, I'm just one guy. If you take all other 10 guys off that field on defense from me, I can't. You take the other 11 guys on offense, you take all these guys away from me. I can't make all these plays and do all this by myself." So, man, I told all my guys, man, when it happened, I said, "Man, look, I know they're gonna recognize me. My name gonna be on stuff, man. But I'm taking all my guys in with me, because my accolades don't come unless my team I'm planning on is doing good. If the team is not doing well, they're not gonna recognize you. You can't go in the Hall of Fame and your team terrible. You know what I mean? So all this works. It works hand in hand, man. And it was just to be able to represent for the University of Alabama. I'm like, out of all the guys that played at Bama, I'm like number 21 as far as players out of the University of Alabama going to the Hall of Fame first and foremost, man. But the good part, the most amazing part about it, man, and I'm not gonna get emotional, but I'm gonna just say the induction happened on December the 10th in Vegas. I go in on December the 10th. I land back in Birmingham on the 11th, but I went out a few days early out to Vegas. I get back on the 11th. I go home and get back. I go to Huntsville, see my mom and my sisters, and she just excited and shedding her tears and put all these Facebook posts. And then on December the 20th, a few days before Christmas, my mom passed away, so she had a chance to get an opportunity to see me going to the sports college football Hall of Fame. So that's a good part that my old girl, she had a chance to see all that before she got out of here. So that's it, man. This college football Hall of Fame deal, man, would be something that I would cherish forever. I constantly thank God for blessing me to be in the position I was, to be able to make it, man. It's an amazing feeling, man. And I know I'm going on and on, but it's just something about it, man. I'm sitting next to, I go into class, I'm sitting next to Julius Peppers. That's my guy now. The whole week we in Vegas. Julius Peppers in the class when he's going in. Randy Moss was in my class, man, and but he wasn't there at that point. He was going through some of his issues, his medical issues, so he wasn't there, man. So I was with had Toby Gerhardt, Tim Couch, man. I had some true ballers that were going in that class with me, man, and just to be in that class and to sit there with Big Peppers, man. And now we talk quite often, man. He'll call, man, what you up to, Langham? I'll be like, Big Pep, nothing, man. What you up to? So it's just something about the relationship that you make from that whole deal too, man. That you cherish, that you have for the rest of your life.
Yeah, definitely. And before, I move on to my question, I do want to just send some condolences to you and for your mom. And I do think that it's something about the timing, like you said, it's something about the timing. But, I do send my condolences to you.
Thank
and
you.
I'm thankful that she was able to see just everything that you did. I mean, that's like you said, Town Creek, you up there by what, like Florence, small town.
Yeah.
Lot, so to achieve what you have, I mean, that's huge. Shout out to Eric King Langham. I remember that 89 Hazelwood championship game. You had me wanting to be like you way in Sheffield. See?
Oh, really?
All right. Well, let me actually, so Dan had mentioned, and I want to kind of circle back to it, the 92 SEC championship game, your iconic PickSix. We're playing Florida and we're tied. And I think halfway through the fourth quarter, the PickSix you sealed the deal. We won because of you. I want to go back to that moment. And I just want to know, what did you see? What do you recall seeing prior to the snap? And what was going through your mind when you made the interception?
Well, actually, before that play happened, if we really want to be serious about this whole 92 season, we were in a bad position against Auburn. Now you remember we were tied 0-0 middle of the third quarter, and Auburn had just crossed the 50-yard line and they were moving the ball. And Coach Dad already said if they scored on us first, they were going to win that game. So that pick against Auburn was, I felt like, was the pick that made that season go. But that game, it was like 3 minutes and some change left in the fourth quarter, and we had a tie ball game, and we had went up 2 touchdowns. But our defense we had in 92, you give us a 7-point lead in this ball game, it's over. We were just a stingy defense, but Spurrier was just so smart and so good. So now we have a tie ball game, and like I always tell the story. It goes, once you're in tune to the game, you understand what they've been doing to you all night. Football is a copycat league. They watch film and they see what somebody else did to you and it worked, and they keep going to it. All they do is just flip the formations on you, and that's all Spurrier was doing. Everything he was doing was working, so we just flip the formation and we go. And he loved 4 wides, this 2x2, 4 wides. So all he was doing, his number 2 receivers, inside guys, they were adjusting routes according to where our safeties hung. If our safeties jumped outside, they ran inside routes. If our safety jumped inside, it ran outside routes. So they were just really what we call China routes. They push number 1 receiver, he hook up, and number 2 receiver, he'd go to a 7 route, which is a corner route, or he go to the post, depending on the leverage of the safety, which we were calling it a high-low route all day long. So we were actually in the cover 2 on that. So in cover 2, that gives your corner a little chance to kind of he can gamble a little bit more on that because just his own coverage. So all I kept telling my safety, I said, look, give him one way to go. Either take the inside away, he's going to the corner, and get on your horse. And I'm gonna see if I can't just gamble and catch Shane Matthews off, because Shane Matthews was a heck of a quarterback, man. Smart and very good, man. And we finally had an opportunity to bait him into a throw, but we got some good pressure from Cope and EC on that particular play too. So it was a bait job on that one. Every corner got to gamble a little bit. Now, if that play hadn't worked, I'd have been in a lot of trouble, because Willie Jackson was open in the corner behind me, because my safety didn't get off the hash and get over there like you should have. So it all worked hand in hand, because if it didn't work, I promise you I would have got to the sideline. First of all, I would have heard Coach Stallings, hey man, where were you supposed to be? And he throw it right there where you supposed to be. Now I heard Coach Oliver, hey, I'm sick of you gambling. So it worked out. It all worked out, man. And just that play, when the play happened, once the play happened, I picked it up. I was like, look, get to the end zone. Don't chance giving the ball to our offense, because Florida defense is stepping up. I was like, just get to the house, get to the house. Curtain call. Now I went back to them Hazelwood days. They had to make a couple of cuts. They had to set some guys up and get in there. But it was, man, that was a night to remember, man. That was a night to remember. Now, the best part about that whole night was you couldn't tell me after the game on the way we got back to Tuscaloosa. You couldn't tell me I went to BMOC that night. We got back and Foster Auditorium, TLC was performing. I don't know how they got TLC at Foster Auditorium. We get back and I got to man, how we gonna get in the concert? Oh, man, come on, man. Y'all with me tonight, baby. We going to the DAP championship. Come on, walk with me. We going in. We walk up to Foster Auditorium. All the police officers standing around out there. We walk up. Man, what I'm talking about, baby. Lane, good play. Come on, man. We're gonna take y'all around to the back, baby. I'm like, yes,
around the back.
We good, dog.
Yeah.
Like, y'all with me tonight.
Yeah, y'all with me tonight. Come on, man.
Forget y'all with me tonight. Like, I don't know what y'all thought, but, No, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Like I said, y'all, he still holds that record for interceptions. So I don't know who's gonna break it, Alabama. But, I don't see how.
Way the game has changed now.
Yeah.
Hey, records are made to be broken, but
they are made to be broken. But I agree.
But man, topping what you did, that's gonna be tough. You know what I'm saying? So,
well,
they still be legendary. They can beat your record by 10 interceptions, but guess what? You still Antonio Langham.
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy it until somebody break it, and when they break it, I'm gonna hug and give us some dap, and I'm gonna be excited for them. Be like, good job, man.
Yeah,
good job. Good job.
Yeah. Well, Dan, what else you got?
Yes. Talking about the 92 team again. Who from the 92 team that do you still keep in touch with on a regular basis?
Man, all of those guys, man. I actually just talked to Lemansky Hall earlier today. I spoke with him for a little while. I talked to Copeland all the time. EC, of course, Sam, TP Johnson, Willie Gap. Man, look here, that whole 92 team. One of the things I love about Coach Stallings was he always made it known to us. He said, look, no matter what happens, when this is all said and done, I want you guys to still make sure y'all taking care of each other when it's all said and done and your NFL career's over with and all that. And man, we keep in touch. We talk all the time. It's like it's crazy. Like I could be sitting at home watching TV and then I may get a FaceTime call and it'll be Dabo. He'll be calling, just wanting and this is a good story. You'll laugh at this. He used to call me all the time. And he was like, Langham, I got some people in town I want to show you. And there was really just some more teammates to be in Clemson visiting. He'd be like, but I can't FaceTime you. He was like, man, you don't live in Town Creek no more, man. You can get an iPhone. You don't have to keep playing with a droid, man. I can't even FaceTime you no more. So I'm like, man, get out here. So here I go. One day I get up and I'm like, you know what? I go get an iPhone. Then I hit him back. I hit him on the FaceTime. He was like, all right, man, who phone you borrowed to call me on FaceTime? I'm like, nah, dog, it's me. I'm FaceTime. And so now it's like anybody come to Clemson, they come in town. It's FaceTime, man. But it's a lot. I just told that story, man, because it's just how close knit of a group we still are to this day, man. And I'm just and like I said, I give credit to Coach Stallings for that, because that's what one of his main things is, that we stayed close after it was all said and done. Now I need that introduction you gave. I want to go back to that real quick. I really appreciate it, but when you mentioned from now about the SEC championship, the MVP, don't mention that, because Lassie gets upset because he said he did more than I did that night. He said I had one play and he should have won MVP that night. So don't mention it around Lassie. He will get mad and he won't do the interview. He'll walk off. So just don't even say that around Lassie, all right?
We'll make a little snippet of it and let you send it to him. Be like, she said.
Actually, Antonio, remember what was it, a year or so ago? And Lassick was talking about that on our show, and we tried to get y'all two together, and he wouldn't come.
I know he wouldn't. I'm telling you, he'd get mad about it. I'd be like, Lassick, I didn't judge, I didn't vote.
It wasn't me.
I didn't vote. Hey, man, like I was just happy we were going to New Orleans. I did not vote. I didn't say, look, y'all give me the trophy. I didn't say that, you know. Oh, he still get up. He was in a ladder. He started boxing and everything. He challenged me to a celebrity boxing match and everything. He did. That's true story. He did. I said, Lassie, really, man. I said, listen, man, my name, you want the trophy, I'll take my name off and give it to you. Oh, man, it's not that deep.
Dang, he really feeling some type of, it's okay. I mean.
Yeah, he'll be all right. But we laugh about it. Justin said we laugh about it. All he do now to get over the frustration, he just go in the weight room and just do arm curls all day long. So if you see him, he got 26-inch biceps. So you know
roll it on 26. Arms look like doves.
Yeah, that's it. You know, that's all he want to do. He just go in there and just do arm curl.
We'll get him on screen with Marvin.
Marvin.
Mm-hmm.
Marvin. Hey, Justin, what was that Marvin sent us that? He sent us that book where he had his shirt off. You know, we made that. He wrote he had a book.
Strong, yeah.
He had a book with his shirt off, like he was D'Angelo. How does it feel? I told him all he had to do just spin around in a circle, man. You know
spin around.
The deluxe edition, when you open up chapter 7 and play Jodeci.
Hey, I promise you, Marvin. I think Marvin sent me a video one night, man. He was smoking in some oxtails, but he had his shirt off. So I said, man, them look good, man. Send me some oxtails, man. Then I think he had his shirt off. I said, don't worry about it. I'm good. I don't want your oxtail with all your sweat popping out the body on the oxtail.
I'm good.
Oh, man.
Okay,
I'm sorry, man. I know we're supposed to be talking.
This is good because honestly, this is really what we want. We want that candid, those candid memories. I don't really know about Marvin's R&B album that he, doing his photo shoots for, but
he take his shirt off now. He'll take his shirt off in a minute now. So don't worry about it. No.
Yeah, he one part of silk.
Yeah, no, no. I know he was D'Angelo that day. He took his shirt off, boy.
I take mine off. Look like some bad Pillsbury though.
Well, Coach Antonio, how were you on time? Because we still.
I'm good. We good.
Okay.
We all right.
All right. Well, Dan, anything else that you had?
Okay. This next question is a two-part. Who is the toughest receiver you had to cover on the collegiate level? And the same question, NFL.
Oh man, collegiate level, easy question to answer right there. He was on my football team every day for 3 years.
Wow. Oh yeah, we know who that is. Then.
Deuce, man. Listen, I promise you, man. I have never ever in my life. Seeing a guy that could do so much in one route. One route. I'm talking about dudes. You running an out route. You run a dig. You run a post. You run a curl. Then an out. How you do all that in one route?
In what?
In one
Those
route.
feet.
Them feet, man. And I'm talking about. He could do so much, man. It was crazy. But we battled every day. We battled. I mean, we would come out the door some days, and Coach Stallings would be standing there. And Coach Stallings would be like, "Hey, 43, I got my money on number 2 today." I'm like, Coach, I ain't in a really good mood today, so you got your money on the wrong person today. I'm in a bad mood today, so you might not. And he'd go over there, "Hey, 43, so he ain't not in a good mood today, so." He said, "You might not catch a pass." Look at Coach Stallings being messy. He started stuff. Oh yeah. Look at Coach Stallings being messy. And then Deuce. "Oh, that what you said today, Lamb?" I said, "You know it. You know what it is. You know what it is today." We went one day. We was one-on-one period. That's wide receivers, DBs go against each other. Deuce and myself, we went 7 times in a row. He hit me the first two routes. He got me. I ran out, I lined back up. I said, "Let's go, dog." He lined back up. I got him the next 2. We went at it. Coach Stallings, he told Woody, he said, "Get David for me." And then he told Coach Off, he should get Langham. And I walked over to Coach Off, he said, "43, come here." I walked over, he said, "Let me see your helmet." He said, "Something looked loose on your helmet." Me not thinking, I go for it. I handed my helmet. He said, "You done for the day. You two, y'all gonna hurt each other, man. Y'all gonna hurt each other." And that's how we did. So once we did that, man, it went down. It came on down to Kevin Lee, the Prince Wembley, and we had another receiver, Chad Key, tall. Key was tall, man, about 6'4". He was he would get mad because he couldn't get a rep one day. So he just every day, "Man, y'all won't even let me go. Won't nobody cover me." Every time he came up, everybody walk away from him. Didn't nobody want to go with him. So he'd be at his feelings one day. So I'm standing there. Me and Deuce had went at it. I'm standing there. I'm looking at it. He come up. Nobody line up out there. So me having fun with him, I looked at him. I said, "Hey, arena football, come on, let's go." Everybody started laughing. Like, "Man, you caught a man arena football." But it was hey, that's how it was though. That's how we competed, man. But Deuce, that dude, man, that dude is like you said, generational talent.
Mm-hmm.
He was there. He is the only guy. The whole 4 years I was at Bama, he was the only guy that came in when he reported that Coach Stallings went live special team scrimmage with. We had a scrimmage and special team was live because he wanted all the boosters to see David Palmer. And the first punt, he catches it and he takes it to the house. And I don't mean to keep telling the story, but I had too many of them. His freshman year, we went the Blockbuster Bowl in Miami against Colorado. We got all our blitz coming, all our block. We going to get it. So we assume we missed the block. So we like, "Oh man, they guys downfield, man. He had to fair catch this one." So we start jogging to the sideline. The next thing we know, we hit the sideline, start hollering, "Turn around, he come. I'm like, "Hey, who come?" I'm like, "There's no way in the world he returning this one." I'm talking about he's running. And now the only person left back there is the kicker. So it's me and Deuce, because he decided to come down the sideline where I was working on. He yelling at me, get the kicker, block the kicker." And I'm sitting there looking at him like, "You done made 10 people miss, and now you gonna ask me to block the kicker? You all by yourself and made 10 people miss, but you want me to block the kicker at this point. If you done made 10 people miss, you don't need me to block the kicker. You can beat the kicker on your own, man." But man, that dude was generational, man. And to the question of the pros, man. I played against some dogs in the league back then, man. But that dude, I'm gonna say 2. All of them, when you get to that level, are good, but it was 2. Man, Jerry Rice,
Mm.
Jerry Rice, and Randy Moss.
Wow. Really?
No, I'm for real. I can line up against any receiver, and I wasn't afraid of him. But Jerry, I was like, all right, if I can just keep Jerry in front of me, I'll be all right. Because Jerry ran great routes. He had good speed. Now, if you just let him, he may run a 4.46 on the clock, but when Jerry get out there, most of the time you didn't see people catching it. But I'm like, I could run with Jerry. I could play with Jerry. The only receiver that ever scared me was Randy Moss, because we watching film and I was watching Randy Moss run through double teams. He was splitting knee. I'm talking about they got a safety underneath. They like playing a two-man coverage. They got help underneath, safety over the top. And Randy Moss would run through the double coverage. And y'all seen him before when that hand go up in the air. He shift gear. When he throw the hand up like that, he shift gears. I said, ooh. I ain't gonna even lie. I was in the defensive meeting room. I was looking at the special defensive coordinator. I say, dog, you got to give me a little help every now and then.
I need some help.
Hey, I ain't got no problem playing the man, but I'm gonna need a little help every now and then on this one. I ain't playing man all day on this one, baby. Not on 84, man. And then the crazy part about it was, at that time, he was in Minnesota, and Deuce was there too. Dave Palmer was at Minnesota with him. And when we be laying out there, man, and sometimes if Deuce went in the game, he'd be on the sideline, and he'd be like, back up a little bit, Langham. We going deep on you. And I'd be thinking to myself, he probably right. I need to back up a little bit. Yeah, man. But them college Deuce and in the pros, man, Jerry and Randy Moss, man.
Okay.
That's awesome. All right, I got a question for you, Langham. Being that you are the current defensive back coach at Miles College, do you have any aspirations of becoming a head coach in the future?
Take your time.
I'm gonna be honest. No, I'm gonna be honest. No, I tell you why. I have great patience. I have real calm demeanor, but man, the way the sports world is going now as far as football, and then they talking about throwing NIL and high school and all this other stuff, man. It's too much, man. It's too much to decipher now, man. It's too much to try to figure out, because now I'm already upset because you're killing the high school kids because you got NIL, you have the portal, you have NIL, you have the portal. So all these young high school athletes, man, that are training, that's working their tails off, that's giving you everything they have to try to make it to the next level, which is college. It's really not there for them anymore, because everybody has this one guy that's sitting in this one office, and all he's doing is looking at the portal all day long. Now, if you're a legitimate five-star, yeah, they gonna come to your high school and see you, but you got to be legitimate five-star guy. You got to be a Julio or Mark Ingram, like the kids Hoover, like a Peter Woods, them type of guys. They gonna still come to their school, but other than that, they gonna sit in that office and ask that guy who's in the portal. And I feel bad for the high school kids, but if I just broke down and say, you know what, yeah, I'd do some head coaching, I would go high school, because it would be my mission to go back and push these high school kids, man, are really just working their tails off, man, to help them get a scholarship to go to college. I would go that route, man, because I just feel like they missing this boat, man. They missing the excitement that I had of going on recruiting visits to sit there, man, and go to this school and that school. Now, you don't even hear them talking about it. You very seldom hear, unless they the legitimate guys, they just, all of them sitting around now waiting on the letter.
Yeah.
Just waiting on, they waiting on the letter to say, yeah, and then you see it on social media. You know, so thankful to God I got a letter from so and so school, but you got 80 letters.
Right, you got about 100.
Yeah, you got 100 letters. I want to see you go to one of these schools. I want to see them bring you on campus. That tells me then They are for real about you. I can sit at my house at my table and sign and draw them 100 letters and write names on and mail them out to them.
Yeah.
I'm just doing my job as far as recruiting is concerned. But when I bring you on my campus and I sit you down, I show you around, I get one of my players to be your host for that weekend. Now I'm telling you, I really want you.
Yeah.
And it's not happening now because the portal is out there and everybody's sitting there looking at the portal. I can go get a guy who played a year or two that's in the portal, and I had to worry about getting a high school player that I'm had to develop, take a couple of years to develop. It's losing me. And that's where I get to the point where I'm like, you know what? The collegiate, and then you got the NIL and everybody want money, and then it's turning to free agency and I'm not, trust me when I tell you, I want these kids to get something for your name, image, and likeness. I'm not saying don't get something. Get something, because if I had had the opportunity to, I would have. But then my guys always tell me, you did it with you just couldn't say nothing about it.
I know. You lay handshakes.
But it's too much now. And so now there's no more. There's no more loyalty. There's no more commitment. It's almost like watching Calipari when he was at Kentucky at this school. Everybody one and done. Let me play one good season.
Yep.
Let me jump in the portal and see if anybody out there interested. If not, I'll come back and tell them, look, man, y'all got to up the ante a little bit on me. I'm going to dip out. So it's almost like now college football is one and done. So there's no building chemistry with guys. And when we won the championship in 92, we had built the chemistry in 90, 91. So just like, see if all of us was on the same team together. We'd have been around each other for a couple of years now. I know when the three of you don't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
I know when you want to joke. I know you want to have a good time. I know when I walk in the cab, if I look at you, you ain't looking right, I'll be like, you know what, it's going to be all right. We're going to be good. We're going to be good. We're going to be all right. Now, I know when I can push you. I know when to bag off. I know when to joke with you. I know when to leave you alone. I know all of this because I'd have been around you long enough. I'd have built this chemistry with you, but they're not able to build chemistry with each other because you may have this guy here this year, then next year he's gone. Now you got a new guy coming in. Now I got to figure him out. Then all of a sudden I got two guys going in after that, and two more coming in. I got to figure them out. It's too much, man. It's too much for me, man. But hey, that's the landscape of the game.
Got y'all my hot board. You know, I had you on my hot board, so I'm take you off then. He just got promoted. He just was shot up the board.
No, I mean, but Antonio, you made some really good points. And we talk about that here sometimes as far as, NIL, you see what's happening with Nico Iamaleava and his brother now. You see certain guys that left Alabama. And of course, we know it's because of NIL. And Coach Saban, literally 2 years ago, he had the interview where he kind of called out Jimbo Fisher. But in that same interview, he was talking about the impacts of, NIL and transfer portal. And even you kind of see it trickle down. You mentioned high school. You see it trickle down to the high school level. The guys from the 2026 class, for example, there was a linebacker, Isaiah Williams, out of Florida. And, you see that he's committed, decommitted. He just committed to his fifth school, Ole Miss. And so it's just like you see how it's almost like a mindset now where, you kind of wonder, do you commit and decommit to just kind of get your name out there a little bit more, push for a little bit more money on the back end? You know what I'm saying? And so it does make you kind of like you mentioned the Julios of the world, the guys that come in, they lock in. And that's why I'm so glad that we had guys like Deontay Lawson come back, because like you said, you build that chemistry, the guys that, they kind of know the culture, they can help the guys coming in. But it's just too many moving parts. So you can't even get excited like we used to.
Oh, there's no such thing as commitment anymore. You make a commitment and stay with it. They're just for the cameras. They're just for the newspaper. They're just for social media. Because, oh man, I'm just so thankful and blessed. I just got my first offer from the University of Alabama. I'm committed to Bama. I'm all in, roll tide. Then 3 days later, I just decommitted. I decommitted from Bama, so I just opened my recruiting back up. And then this is the part that kills me. I've decommitted from Bama. I've opened my recruiting back up, so I would just ask that you all give me and my family some privacy at this time. For what? You just put it out there, but you want privacy now. If you wanted privacy, you shouldn't have said nothing.
You shouldn't have said anything.
Y'all don't get me there. Y'all want me to get on my soapbox? They
No,
get me
you
started on
can't.
that because
Look.
you want to say, don't you decommitted? You committed, you roll tide, then you decommit. Now you asking for privacy. Why? Why are you asking for privacy? You shouldn't even say nothing.
Hey, Antonio, that's like people who go public with their relationship.
Right.
Then they'll post that they broke up, but they say we asked for privacy.
Right.
You got to ask in the first place.
My whole point. Then we didn't ask in the first place. We didn't tell you when you got the letter, you committed. We didn't ask you to do that. You did that because you wanted everybody, you wanted your boys, and everybody to know what you did. But now you decommitted. Now you saying, man, I was just asking you to give my family privacy at this moment. For what? You just told us what's going on. So the moment somebody see your daddy or see your mama or they see you, man, what happened, man? Why you decommitted from Bama? Your privacy is out the window now because you gave us all the business. So man, don't get me started on all this.
No. I mean, and honestly, I feel like they need, people like you to be the one to voice that because they see the people, everybody has an opinion, right? But to hear that coming from you and to see what you did, and this kind of leads into my next question, and we're not going to hold you too much longer, but
we're good.
Look, don't tell me that. Because we can keep going for it.
We good.
No, but I want to ask you. So, you look at our corners that we have. You have Damani Jackson that came back. Great cornerback coming out of USC. This is his second year at Alabama. Is there anything that you would say to our DB room? I mean, you see the changes in coaches once Coach Saban left. And then, of course, you still hold the record at Alabama for the number of career interceptions. And I highly doubt anybody's going to break that, especially anytime soon. But I want to know from your perspective, you have, Coach Mo Linguist, you got Kane Womack as the defensive coordinator. We were kind of, we had some issues last year, but we slowly got it together on defense. What would you say to the DB room and kind of base that off of what you saw, how we ended last year, and then kind of going into this season?
I would tell them to trust it, trust the process, trust Womack and what they're trying to do. The defensive coaches, the head coach, trust what they're trying to do, but don't get caught up in the NIL because now. Everybody is almost, I hate to say it this way, but it's almost like the game has become selfish. Yeah. Because everybody is trying to figure out how to get the NIL money. If I got my numbers, I got NIL. Because what the people who give out the NIL money, the big corporations, your NIL money is only as good as how well you're performing on the field and your social media pages are popping. As long as your social media pages that you balling and your social media pages are popping and you're advertising that stuff, everything all good.
That's true.
Lose your job. Lose your job and you no longer that hot guy, that hot person. Now that corporation says, I need to get that back. Give me that back and let me give it to him. Because he's hot right now. I need to give it to him. Let me get that back and let me give this to him. Let me get that back and give it to him. Now you're sitting there looking crazy. Now you're mad and you like, he can't take that from me. So now you pissed off. So you're really not going to play now. At that age, between 18 and 21, you shutting it down now. Man, forget that. Take my NIL money. I ain't playing for nobody. I ain't playing hard for nobody. And they stand over there and they pouting half the time. They ain't paying attention. Then they come back and they on social media want privacy, but they airing out their dirty laundry. So
asking for privacy. Please respect our privacy. You ain't got no privacy.
You ain't got no privacy, but it's just trust it. Trust it and for the sake of it, work on your craft.
Right.
Yes.
Work on your craft. If you are a DB, spend extra time out of practice working on man-to-man. Work on finding the ball in the air. Working on reading the guy's hips down the field. Once he get through the move points, once he get through 15 yards, get your eyes up around the shoulders and the arms and the eyes. Now, because now he's no longer going to run a double move on you. He's no longer run an out or a comeback. And he's down the field. So now all these start to give you signs of when the ball is coming. Work on your craft.
We need to have you coach in the
work
DBs.
on your craft. They come in, and when you get them, the first thing you know how to backpedal. Oh, come on, coach. Yes, man, know how to backpedal. Backpedal. Come on, man. They're easy. And you just tell them, okay, let's go. Get in your drill. Tell them, get in your stance and let's go. And every last one of them, as soon as they take the first move, they take a false step. They step forward before they go back. But you know how to backpedal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Work on your craft. You gotta work on your craft, because if you lose your job, your NIL money no good. No way. Because a lot of people think they sign this deal and the NIL money good. But I also heard that if you're not producing, you're not performing, there were guys that lost their NIL deals because they were no longer starting and they weren't on the field. So we get that. Nobody just guaranteeing you nothing with the chance. Well, what happens if he's not starting anymore? Well, I ain't gonna keep paying if he's not starting. So these deals are almost contingent upon performance. If you performing and you playing good, we're gonna keep paying you. You lose your job, then hey, we're gonna pull it off the table. I ain't gonna keep paying you for nothing.
But you got to be careful because they're gonna ask for privacy.
They're gonna ask for privacy. They're gonna want that now.
Hey, if it's one thing they're gonna ask for,
Or they're gonna ask for guaranteed money up front.
Oh yeah, dog. You know, then you got your homeboys on social media fighting. Dog, what's happening? Or you know what they say now? Twin, what's happening?
Bro.
Twin, what's happening? Bro, what's happening?
Bro, get out of here.
I ain't see you start last week, bro. What happened? Then you know he hits you with the, man, you know, Coach and them tripping, man. I don't know what's up with Coach and them, man. I'm the best thing going out there, man. I don't know why they tripping. Well, if you the best thing, let me tell you something, baby. And I'm gonna say this as a coach. One thing about it, baby, if you the best thing I got going out there, I'm definitely not putting you on the bench.
True.
If I put you on the bench, you done violated some rules and I got to do some punishment, some discipline. Yeah. But if you hadn't done anything wrong and you the best thing I got out on the field, oh, baby, you ain't sitting over there behind me.
Right.
So don't say coach tripping. Because if you're sitting over there behind coach, you did something. Are you doing something? Like I tell my kids all the time, you don't lose your starting job on Saturday. You lost your starting job during the week.
During the week.
Because you weren't doing what you were supposed to during the week. So if it's not going right during the week, ain't no way this is gonna go miraculously just start working on Saturday.
Yeah.
So man, I tell them, man, work on your craft. Work on your craft, because once you leave college, you go to the pro. They paying you. I was about to say, but they paying them pro NFL money now in college. So
wait, some of them. But
some
you see those, yeah.
Money, yeah. So it's. But man, it's and like I said, man, and the reason I feel like from just listening to Coach Saban this month, NILs were put into place because what was happening? Guys were taking improper benefits and they were losing their eligibility. Correct?
True.
So if we can work something out, name, image, and likeness, sounds good. Let's give them some money. And we can give them some money. Now we can prevent them from taking money from agents and other people that would jeopardize their eligibility. This is what the NIL was really put in place for. It wasn't, but then all of a sudden, as always, they find a way to twist it and make it be something that it wasn't put in place to be. Now all of a sudden, and what Nick was saying about Florida State and Jimbo, he wasn't saying you, Jimbo and Florida State cheat. What he was saying was, we didn't put this in place for you to give every last one of the guys that you recruiting this year some money to come to Texas A&M. And then by the time they got to Texas A&M, and before the season was over half the class was gone.
Exactly.
So what you got out of them? Half of them didn't even play it down for you before they were out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Look, if I'm gonna bring a freshman in, you got to give me something before I give you something.
I agree.
Then show me that you a shark in the ocean and not just a fish in the ocean.
Yeah.
But you know what though, and I'm gonna toss it to Dan and JB. But you mentioned something just in that regard. Think about the recruit that Michigan just got, the quarterback, the 5-star Bryce Underwood. I believe his NIL deal was about 11 million over the course of a few years. Well, because of that, when they had their spring game, a lot of the fans weren't satisfied with what they saw. And to me, it just puts too much pressure on these incoming guys, right? Where they get these huge NIL deals, and like you said, if you're investing, I mean, you look at even from an investment perspective, the ROI, right? If you're putting that much money into someone, even if it's over a course of a few years, you're expecting a certain quality of performance back, and that's why all that pressure is mounting for them. And so there is a lot that needs to change, but I just feel like it may have gone a bit too far. I don't know.
Give me something before I give you something. Just don't come in here and just think I need to give you some money because you was a 5-star in high school. Because life changes quickly when you leave high school and you get to college. The game speeds up some, just like when you leave college, you go to the NFL. I tell guys, I had guys ask me one day, "Oh man, tell me what is the difference between college ball, the college game, and the NFL game." I tell them like this: I said, build your race car, and then take it to a dirt track and run it. Then take that same race car and then take it out there to Talladega and run it. It's a whole different speed.
Yeah.
Right.
Whole different game now. That's how it is in the NFL. Where you're a running back and a hole open up as big as Texas, and you got all day to run through that hole. In the league, when that hole opened up, you got half a second to a second to hit it. Then it closed.
Yeah.
Now you got to be able to find that next hole because there's one gonna open up somewhere. Can you adjust that fast? Are you good? Because if not, if you so used to just that, you're going to have a hard time in the league. Just like some of these quarterbacks. They got them big windows coming out of college to throw it in. Then in the league, man, they got a window so tight to throw it in. And some of them just not good enough to thread that needle.
Yeah.
Some can't spin it through that little narrow opening and get it in there. And that's where they start to struggle. Because the game has speeded up so much more, man. And everything on that next level, they went out and drafted the best of the best.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's what you're saying. That's why when I say they like, well, they lost so and so. Well, obviously the dude that you brought in behind him was supposed to be that dude too, because you brought him to the NFL.
Yeah.
So don't tell me because he hurt now. You're losing the step now. Some of them are some good talents, but if we're going to get the best of the best, then I shouldn't be losing anything when I bring this guy in when he go down.
Assuming you're getting the best of the best. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
You assume you're getting the best of the best.
Yeah. No, I agree. Saw a couple of things. Actually, Coach Saban was your DB coach when you were playing at the Cleveland Browns.
Woo-wee.
How was that?
What was he like then as compared to now?
Mm-hmm.
He's going off.
He was worse. What you see now. He was worse in the league, man. Honestly, he was worse in the league, man. Because first of all, he didn't really want to be in the league because Coach Saban is a great teacher.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great coach, but he's a great teacher. When you're on that level, I'm making more money than you. You can teach me, but you ain't gonna yell at me. You ain't gonna talk crazy to me because we're gonna get nose to nose. We gonna bark at each other. We might be spitting on each other when we get through talking. And it's not like you can go to ownership and say, hey, look, I don't like Langham. I need him out of here. Because the owner gonna tell you, all right, hold on for a minute. He gonna call upstairs, and the secretary gonna bring that contract down there and toss it to him and say, hey, Coach, you need to look at this right here. This Langham contract. He ain't going nowhere no time soon, so you better make this work. You see what I'm saying? It's hard. It's hard on that level because that's how it works. And then you say something, them guys, I can talk back to you, And we grown men at this point. Because I mean, I'm sitting there he coaching me. I'm like, yes, sir. Man, them vets in the room. Hold, man. You're a grown man now, just like he is, man. He called you by your first name. You call him by his first name. I'm like, no, it's a whole new world now, man. But listen, that dude, he was the one that drafted me. He the one wanted me, and he the one drafted me. I held out for 21 days. When I got in, he was mad. He was all those things at me. I fought for you. I fought. Okay, I understand. I got in, rookie, nose to the ground, grinding. I'm not saying a word, doing everything that they asked me to do, even the veteran guys asking me to do. You do it, you shut your mouth, you go in. Because what you want to do is you want to build a chemistry with them and not piss them off and not have them liking you. Because you got them veterans against you, you're in a world of trouble on that level. So we go in and I'm 21 days how I come in, I'm grinding, I'm going. And man, we gave up a touchdown right at the end of the season. If we don't give up that touchdown, we would have been third in NFL history of the least amount of points given up on defense. We gave up 196 points altogether. We don't give up that. We gave up that touchdown. We gave up 203. But we had a strong defense that year with Coach Saban. And but between him and Belichick, them boys were good, man. Hey, I had to give it to him, man. You hold out 21 days and then you still get to be, I think I got AFC Defensive Rookie of the Year, something like that. So, hey, I was coached by some guys, man. So, me and him always have it out because I told him I helped him be able to leave Cleveland and go get a real job. Yeah, we go at it all the time. We really good friends, so we have a good time. But, yeah man.
Well, I mean, y'all know I have questions in my back pocket, but I don't want to keep you on too much longer. But Dan and JB, anything else? I know I keep saying that, Antonio, but I'm for real. I could go another 30 minutes.
Let's get to the audience. Let's get them involved. I'm pretty sure they have some questions they want to ask.
Really quickly though, before the audience, it was something that let's see, Kevin Jackson's celebrity golf tournament. It's benefiting. You're playing in it. It's benefiting ALS. Anything, when I met Kerry Good last year, of course, I'm sure that's a part of why you're supporting it.
I'm not going to that tournament. Me and Kevin Jackson don't get along.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not going to that tournament. No, I'm just playing. That's my guy.
I'm like, hey,
let me tell you. I'm just messing with. He sent me. He goes. Now he tells me as soon as the tournament over with last year, he lets me know when the tournament gonna be this following year. He sends me a text message the other day. Man, good morning, sir. I just want to formally invite you to I text him back. I said I won't be able to make it this year. He was talking about, man, you play too much. So, but yeah, Kevin has a nice tournament. I will be going, and he supports ALS Goose Strong Foundation and some different little things in his community in this hometown of Dothan. So it's a really good tournament, K7 Foundation. So I enjoyed it, and so I'll be there.
That's awesome. Before we catch the questions from the audience, I do want to shout out our other sponsor, WhitwillSports.com. We always tell you all that your game day is not the same without a title towel. Be sure to check out their website and use promo code STANDARD for an exclusive discount. Let them know that we sent you, and shout out to them because they're always showing us love and they've been supportive since day one. So we really appreciate your support. Okay. Now, hopefully we're hoping to get more. Look, we don't this ain't no free marketing over here, so we gotta bring that in. we gotta let them know, man. Let me tell you, because look, this is something that we have to say Alabama, that's the standard, right? We know Georgia's trying to do a little something, Michigan always in the news for something else, Auburn losing again. So it's just like, it's Alabama, right? So we gotta get connections and partnerships, and it's all about that. So we have to show love to Whitwell and Lamstone. Now, we do want to grab a couple of questions from the audience. I did see some that dropped in, so let's see what we have. Shout out to Eric again. Langham, do you think that 88 and 89 Hazelwood team could have been an SEC team?
Yeah, the 88 and 89 team could have. We had some athletes on that team at Hazelwood at 88 and 89, so majority of those guys on those teams could have played. They could have played SEC football. So I would say yes. I would have said yeah. I would say yes. We
and a bit of run.
Yeah, we probably made a run. Now we were small, but we had some football players at Town Creek up there, Hazelwood. So I can't say we wouldn't have made a run. We probably would have.
Yeah. All right, and shout out to Jason. What did Teague say when he hawked old boy down and stole the ball? He was supposed to be the fastest NCAA player and got cut down from about 10 yards back.
Oh, George couldn't say anything on that play because he was cramping. Nobody knows that George fell out right after that play because he was cramping up, and he had to go to the. They helped him to the sideline because he was cramping up.
He was tired.
He was tired. He was there. He went and got him. I had to get glued there. He went and got him, but he was tired and he was cramping. And after he cramped up, we get to the sideline, and Coach Stallings said, "Hey man, y'all got to go back on the field." Because we had a guy that had jumped in the neutral zone, so it was a free play for them. So, but George couldn't go back; he was cramping, so he didn't say much because he was trying to get rid of that cramp. So,
Not too much.
Ain't much you can say when you cramp.
Right.
Except,
Just pray for me.
Pray for me. Do something. Rub it out or something.
Exactly. Okay, what else? Shout out to Ephraim. What do you think about Travis Hunter playing DB and wide receiver at NFL level?
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. They're gonna try. They did the same thing with Prime. Prime had one or two routes here, but he was strictly DB, and that's it. Now they're gonna try to make him happy. But that's college. You make him happy. In the pro, we paying you good money, so you play. Now when he did his pro day, he worked their receiver the whole time at pro day. At his pro day, he didn't do any DB work, so they'll probably try to put him at DB a little bit. But if you ask me from watching him, I think he's a better wide receiver than he is DB. I do. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Shout out to Toughest Nails. I hope Coach DeBoer can keep the train rolling, but do you see Dabo coming back?
He did say that Bama's the only call he would take. He would answer. So life is just too good for him at Clemson right now. He would take the phone call, but I just don't know if he would leave right now. I mean, for him to come to Bama, that would mean that dynasty in Clemson is starting to fall apart, and it's time to get out of there and move on. But I think at the rate it's going right now, if the boy ran out of time, I just don't see him leaving right now if he's still winning at Clemson.
Yeah, and I know a lot of those Clemson fans were kind of upset with his underutilization of the transfer portal. And I mean, I still can't believe that they got Peter Woods. I mean, that was an in-state guy that I feel like we should have got to Alabama. Oh, I still feel some type of way about that one. But, that was good. True. Those 3 letters.
We just didn't want to match the purse that day.
That's true. That's
all that was.
Exactly. Okay. Coach SPH. Much love to Antonio. Much love to my A&M brother, his cousin Aaron. Okay. Shout out to Aaron. Let's see.
Don't tell any high A&M stories.
Hey, drop it in the chat. Shout out to LaToya. How long have you been coaching at Miles?
2 years. 2 years. 2 years.
I've
been in high school for 10. I did about 10 years in high school with Zhao, with Andrew Zhao. We started at Montevallo High School together, and then we went to Calera. We left Calera and went to Bessemer City. And then from Bessemer City, we went to Sylacauga. And I wasn't even supposed to be coaching. He asked me to come and speak to a team one day. And then he told me to watch his DBs. And then he told me, he said, anytime you want to come out to practice, man, you're more than welcome to come out. Then he called me the next day, man, can you come through and watch them again? Some of the kids asking for you. Then it was like, can you come back out today? And then the more I start coming out there, the next thing I know, it get close to week 1 of the game. He throw me a whole coaching outfit. Here you go, man. I see you. I see you on Friday. I said, here we go. So.
But you can speak. It's funny you say that because I was going to ask, have you spoken to the Alabama locker room? Have they had you come in yet and speak to the guys?
Oh no, they have not.
Okay.
I went to practice for a second this past season, but I was going up to the Brown Museum. I had to go do a couple of interviews for the Hall of Fame stuff, and I didn't know they were practicing at 9 o'clock at that time because at Miles we had practice at 5 o'clock every morning. So last thing I'm worried about is what time everybody else practicing because I'm trying to figure out how to get there on time. But I ended up going to practice, and it was last minute, but. I talked to the boy at the practice for about like 30 minutes. He was just like really nice guy. He was like apologetic, like, man, if I had known you, I wouldn't introduce you to the team at the practice. Man, not a big deal because it was the last minute for me anyway. I was just here to do some stuff and I was gonna leave, but they told me for practice, so I just stopped by. So he really nice guy. So I'm pretty sure if I ever get a chance to go back this fall when practice starts back up, I'm pretty sure at one of those practices, he'll introduce me and let me say a little something if I want to. Probably,
When say a little something. Say a little something. All right. Toughest now. It says Dabo invited you to speak at Clemson.
No, I'm probably the last person he'll let speak at a Clemson practice because he won't be sure what I'll say about him and everybody else because we always go at it all the time. We're around each other. I always tell him I prepared him to be a coach because I would never let him catch a pass in practice. So, but we always have a good time. But I'm pretty sure if I wanted to, if I asked him to, I would. But honestly, I don't. Hey, if they anything like me, you're a player. You hear enough speeches. You don't want to hear too many more speeches. So. If I've heard a million speeches, I don't want to hear 1,000,001. So I'm good. Yeah.
That's true. Well, as we wrap up, are there any moments you mentioned a lot of funny moments that a lot of us wouldn't have known? Are there any moments that you still cherish that we may not know whether it's on the field or off the field during your time in Alabama?
It was. It's a great story. I know I'm telling a lot of stories, but this was a good one. This actually taught me discipline. This one taught me discipline from Coach Stallings. So we're going. I'm a freshman, and we're going to Tennessee to play Tennessee, and we get to Knoxville, and we had some time to kill before we went. We had our meeting and stuff. And Lemansky Hall is my roommate on the road, and we go in and we sit down, we watching TV, and we both fall asleep, and we sleep through the meeting. And I'm a freshman, and they come in, it's Lemansky and I myself and Robert Jones and Danny Wilson. We sleep through that meeting, boy. And Coach Stallings is livid. He come out there, and we come out the rooms, and he's on our floor coming for us. And I see him, and I see him coming. He stopped. He said, "Hey, man, you a freshman. How you miss a meeting?" I said, he said, "Hey, man, you got a year on him, Hall. How you going to let him miss a meeting? You miss it." And he was going off. And we were just standing. He was like, "Do y'all, either one of y'all have something you need to say to me? Anything you like to say?" And we was like, I'm like, "Nah, Coach, I'm good. He was like, "Because I'm thinking about just sending y'all on to the bus station tonight and putting you on the Greyhound and sending you home. Back to Tuscaloosa on the Greyhound." I'm like, "A Greyhound from Knoxville?"
Yeah.
And we came on the plane. Said, "Ooh, there's gonna be a ride." I'm standing there. It was like everything. They were like a voice in my head said, "Just apologize, dog. Apologize. See what happened." I said, "Yeah, Coach. I got something I need to say." I said, "Look, I'm sorry, Coach." I said, "It was an honest mistake. We just came in. We watching TV and talking, and we fell asleep. We forgot to set the alarm clock, car downstairs to get a wake-up call. That's all. I apologize. I promise you it'll never happen again." And he's 43. I appreciate that. And then he asked Lemansky, he said, "Oh, you got anything you need to say to me?" Lemansky said, "No, Coach, I had nothing to say." He said, "Son, you mean to tell me you ain't got nothing to say to me? Not one word to say to me?" So I didn't ease behind Coach Stallings. So I'd lean behind Coach Stallings. I'm like, apologize. So he apologized to Coach Stallings. He said, "Oh, I appreciate that, but I'm still, y'all go in there and pack your stuff, and I'll let y'all know in a few minutes we're going to send you back to the bus station tonight." He didn't send us home. And he let us play. He let us play. And I was like, I gotta do something. I got to pick that game as a freshman. I was at safety. I got to pick. That still didn't help because he ran us at 5:30 in the morning for the next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Hey, every single day. I ain't never missed another meeting for the next 3-4 years. Never. I'm talking about we were bear crawling. We were doing flips, turns, you name it. We were doing it all. I was like, no, I'm good, dog. But he said practice was at 3. I was over there at the facility at 2:15. Never again.
That's awesome. Awesome. They all have that one story.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Antonio.
Yeah.
Didn't Terrence Lynch a few years later actually miss the team bus to Knoxville? Did he not get in trouble for that?
Oh yeah, he missed that one. Yeah,
and you had to run for an entire week.
I've been telling. I probably was because I was a captain. I probably did have to run for that one. I ran for I ran for him, and this is one that you really used to just tee me off with that Willie Gaston. That's who I ran for all the time, man. That boy there, man. He had a situation in the dorm one day.
Yes.
And the bus leaving at 10:30, and it's 10:15. He's still running through the dorm, running from people. I had to get off the bus. Coach Stallings said, if he ain't on this bus at 10:30, he ain't never playing for my ball club again. I get off I needed him. He was playing a lot. I needed him. I got off that bus. He come running down through that hallway, boy. I jumped out in front of him. I said, man, if you don't stop right now. I said, man, you got 10 minutes to go. You be on this 10:15. You better be on that bus at 10:25. That man said, if you ain't on that bus, by the time it pull out, you done here. He taking your scholarship today. Boy, he go up them stairs. Willie come down there. He come down in 10 minutes, and I don't know who whooped him, but they whooped him good. They got him good. He got on that bus. I said, dog, you know your neck bleed, dog. He talking about, yeah, I'm straight, dog. I'm straight. Hey, when he got to there, Coach Stallings, he said, we got the bus pulled out. Coach Stallings, hey, 43, come here. I said, I come up to the front of the bus. He said, hey, I'm still thinking about kicking 22 off this football team. And he ain't focused. He ain't ready to play. And I ain't going to have him on my ball squad. I said, here we go. I said, hey, man. I go back there. I said, man, you got to come on, dog. You killing me. So I'm fighting right now, man. Man, talking about kicking you off the team. We get back after this game. I said, dog, I got you, but you better come on, man. So, man, it's that squad there. There's so many stories of that squad. You wonder how we won a championship with that squad.
Wow. It sounded like it was the discipline more than anything, though.
Oh, yeah. We finally got our discipline. That was it, boy.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. No,
now I'm gonna let y'all go. This is my favorite one. I'm gonna let y'all go. So, you know, that marijuana had got to be real bad around campus and all that stuff. So we did some of the craziest stuff. We'd be out there in warm-ups before a game, and we out there wrestling and jumping on each other's backs and kicking each other in the butt, all kind of stuff, just joking around. And Coach Stallings used to be concerned. He used to be like, hey, I don't know if my ball club ready to play because they just do too much childish stuff, you know. And use another word, but I don't want to say it on the air. I said, oh, man. So we get back. We play the game on that Sunday. He called an emergency meeting. We come over there. He said, man, I ain't sure about my ball club. So he said, come tomorrow morning. It was this Sunday night now. We don't never meet on Sunday night. He said, come Sunday night, he's come Monday morning, I'm gonna have a meeting. He said, I'm gonna drug test everybody on this team. He said, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now. If anybody on this team, if anybody was at a party this weekend and they was around folk that may have been smoking that Mary J. Warner, that's how he said it. He said, And if you've been smoking that Mary J. Warner, if you around somebody that may have been smoking that Mary J. Warner, you better come to my office now. Cause if I test you tomorrow, you test positive, you off my ball club because I'm automatically assume you've been smoking that Mary J. Warner. Hey man, and then he turned, and him and the coaching staff walked out of the meeting room. Boy, you was sitting around there looking at everybody looking around. Everybody like, man, what you gonna do if you been smoking? What you gonna do? I said, he gave y'all an out. He said, if you was at a party, you think you was at a party, and you was just standing around the folks with me, you better tell him. That's how you better. So just that Monday, he come to the team meeting room. He said, hey man, yeah. I got the same story from the whole damn ball club. So it's hell, I had 100-some damn players at the same party.
Look, cause he can't kick the whole team. Can't kick off everybody.
Can't kick everybody off.
Not a baby.
Man. Hey, I appreciate it. I've had a blast. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
You got to do this again, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just let me
man.
know. Y'all just let me know when y'all want me back on, man.
Definitely. We really appreciate it. Any social media that you want to share with the audience?
I don't do social media too fast, so I can't help you on
Because you
that.
want to protect your privacy.
I want to protect my privacy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I just want to give me and my family privacy right now.
Don't ask no questions. Exactly. Well, look, Antonio, you've been on that Mary J. Warner tonight.
I ain't been on that Mary J. Warner. No, I ain't been on. Ain't on that Mary J. Warner.
All them extra syllables.
Yeah, he broke it down. If you been on that, if anybody had any of that Mary J. Warner.
You'll be cooking a triple cheeseburger.
Yeah,
I know, right. No, look, it's been awesome having you, Antonio. We really appreciate it. We gotta have you back. We gotta
just
have
let
you
me just let me know. Just let me know. And
We will
and
protect
set
your
it up.
privacy.
And we'll protect my privacy. I get George to come on with us that night,
We
man. Or somebody.
Oh, man.
And
I
we'll
get him, and we'll
we'll-
do it.
We'll get Keith Sweat on too. Marvin.
Oh yeah, D'Angelo. How does it feel?
How does it feel? We'll have to get him on too. We have to get him on too. Yeah. Well, look. Will you have? Huh?
Certain shoes required.
Exactly,
That's my
exactly.
boy, Mr. Shirtless Oxtail Cooker.
And the oxtails. No, Antonio, it's been awesome having you. We really appreciate it, and you be
Yeah.
blessed.
Y'all
be
do the
blessed.
same to y'all.
We
Thank
will.
y'all for
Thank
having me.
you. Yeah,
Thank
yeah, definitely.
Roll Tide, brother.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, roll
All
tide.
right.
All right. Yeah, this has been good. We really appreciate the questions too, and even just some of the feedback in the chat. We really appreciate it. No, this was awesome. I mean, I'm sure he has more stories. We got to get some more stories from him. I know Silas was saying Mary J. Warner. I mean, I'm trying to figure out where and then he calling it the ball club, and yeah, really good stories. But we got to have him and Teague, or maybe get someone else on with them and get some more stories. We had something else. I mean, we tell them Michigan is always in the news about something, right? You know, and of course, the head coach is suspended for a couple games come the upcoming season. It to no surprise. I mean, it's kind of become their culture, but we won't really harp on that too long. But yeah, I think that was all the questions, at least for Antonio. Nothing else that we'll be able to take tonight, but we will be back next week for sure. And then, we'll have to get Teague and Langham on together.
Yeah.
Maybe we can plan that around like fall camp time frame or something like that. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I was gonna tell Justin try to get Lassick on with him too.
Oh man,
If he can get Lassick on there, that'll be.
I'll reach out to
just throw an
Lassick.
ice cube in the grease.
I'll talk to Lassick. I won't tell him what y'all are doing, but I'll get him.
I mean, we'll just have to sit back and just let it flow. Just let it flow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. Well, do y'all have any other? I'll start with you, JB. Any other shows or any social media?
Oh well, y'all know find me here Wednesday night Crimson Dynasty with C'Chi and Dan, 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Also Sunday night Talking Bama, me, JT, Herb, and Stephen M. Smith, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And follow me on Twitter, X, young_ENT_ and Sports Talking with JB on YouTube.
All right. And then Dan, anything from your side?
Yeah, definitely follow me on Twitter at Final Whistle Dan. You catch me Tuesday nights, Final Whistle. Wednesday nights right here, the Crimson Dynasty, and y'all be on the lookout on this network for videos. I'm starting to do stuff with Jonathan Lewis, and y'all be looking out for some recruiting videos. So and maybe more in the future, So y'all just stay tuned to this network.
Yeah, you just don't know what you might see from Dan, so just stay tuned. Stay tuned. And then you can find me here every Wednesday night, like we said, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be back, of course, next week with some hot topics. And you can find me on X at official C'Chi or on Instagram at beauty_of_intelligence. Like we said, hit up whitwellsports.com, get your title towel, and shout out to Lambstone Company. We really appreciate the support. So thanks everyone for joining in tonight. Be sure to go back and watch the replay, and we will see y'all next week. Roll Tide.
Roll
Tide.